Late one night, L. Frank Baum was telling his daughter a bedtime story. It was a story about a land of enchantment, and munchkins, and witches, and a little girl named Dorothy. His daughter looked up and said, "What's the name of this land, Daddy?" L. Frank Baum looked down at his file cabinet, the bottom drawer of which was labeled O through Z. He said, "It's called the Land of Oz." The Warner Theater presents The Wizard of Oz. 160 actors, more than 60 technicians, musical director Stephen Saunders, a 25-piece orchestra featuring Joe Bouchard, formerly of Blue Oyster Cult. Continuing the Warner tradition of high-quality entertainment, manager of the Warner Theater, Jim Fritsch, has undertaken the huge effort of directing this show.
This is by far one of the largest casts I've ever worked with. I'm pretty much used to working with large casts, but in the neighborhood of 60 to 80. This one's in the neighborhood of 150 to 160 people in the show. The neat thing is that there are a lot of people behind the scenes helping with the coordination of the kids, seeing that everything runs smoothly, that their costumes are taken care of, and that they are in, the right location at the right time, which has been making my job pretty easy. But for the most part, it's a real a joy to see it all come together on the stage. We have a lot of families that get involved in all the various shows that we do here in the theater, community-based theater. This show alone, Wizard of Oz, we've got probably about 20 different families where the fathers are building sets, the mothers are helping with costume, the children are in Munchkin Land. My family alone, 4 of us, my 2 children are in the show, my wife is playing Glinda, and I'm directing it, so a lot of families.
L. Frank Baum wrote additional books about the little girl from Kansas, the Scarecrow, the Tin Woodsman, and an ever-growing cast of amazing, whimsical characters. In all, he completed 14 full-length Oz stories, meant to entertain and keep his family together. And this production of The Wizard of Oz at the Warner Theater is no different.
This is one of the best family and community things you can do in Torrington, or even in the state of Connecticut this summer. This is a real family show. My wife is in the show, first time on stage. My daughter Casey's 12 years old. She's on the stage with me. And if you look at all the other family names in this program, you find out this is a family show from the behind the curtain and from in the audience.
The Warner Theater serves as a training ground for teenagers and college students who hope to continue into the professional level. The theater provides training in all aspects of production, from the smell of the grease paint to the operation of behind the scenes, lights, sets, costumes, and special effects. And this stage production of The Wizard of Oz is a great opportunity to gain that experience.
The behind-the-scenes work is far bigger than the show. There are over 200 people associated with this show. I also play the role of the Cowardly Lion. And in the daytime, I do the production work, such as the painting. And the night, I've got to jump into the Cowardly Lion outfit. What's difficult about doing the Wizard of Oz is everybody knows it. It has been said to be the most known bit of entertainment in the world. There's been no other form of a single piece of entertainment that's more well known than the Wizard of Oz. One of the challenges you face is, and somebody says to you, well, why do on stage the most well-known piece of entertainment in the world? I mean, every line, everybody knows. Well, to live this movie is really a trip. I mean, you may be sitting home on a nice sunny day in the summer and say, why should I come down to the Warner? To see it live is to live the dream. I am mesmerized by it. People sit and watch the rehearsals. We have people seeing every single rehearsal and come back again and again just to see it. It's like a story that you never get tired of seeing. To see Dorothy actually come. And also, the beginning of it, like we do it here, the beginning of the movie is all black and white. All the sets, all the characters, all this, the costumes, all the sets are on black and white. And when she goes to Oz, it all turns to color. And to see that happen live is totally different. To hear the music, the soundtrack you're hearing behind me is the soundtrack from the movie. All the little incidental music is from the movie. And you'd be amazed.
We're working with a movie score in The Wizard of Oz, and it's a lot different than other shows like a Broadway score because it's a lot of fill-in music that's kind of difficult to catch on to unless you really have to watch the conductor and really listen to what's going on stage.
We've got, when it snows in the poppy fields, it snows in the poppy fields. We've got an Oz that you won't believe. This Oz takes 3 people to operate them. We've got fog machines, smoke machines. This is, without a doubt, the largest, most technically oriented, most technically difficult production ever done at the Warner Theater. It's got all the superlatives, all the statistics. It's 9,600 square feet of painting. It's like 100 gallons of paint have gone into this show. The rotating stages are 16 feet diameter. Each scene, every time we change a complete scene, you're changing something which is 12 feet high by 48 feet long, wide, 3 revolving stages. What we're trying to do is to make a musical production on stage, a live production, out of what was a motion picture. When they did the motion picture, they had no idea that this would ever be done as a stage play. Hence, it's very difficult to make a movie, because we're doing exactly the movie, into a stage production. So that when we jump from one scene to another scene to another scene, it's got to flow like that. Musical productions or Broadway shows or anything like any of your productions, they were designed to have people have time to change. Scenes change. Well, none of that. So the biggest thing that we have to do as a production standpoint is make this show absolutely fly.
The theater comes alive, with mothers and fathers volunteering to hammer and nail sets together. The hours involved, some 3 months worth of planning. Computerized lighting systems and elaborate costumes and makeup, all to make you think you've landed in Munchkinland.
I've always enjoyed watching The Wizard of Oz. It's a real classic, and the Scarecrow has always really appealed to me. So as soon as I heard that there were trials for it, I just went out after it, and I was really happy to find out that I got it. I'm a first-year college student at the University of SUNY at Potsdam. I'm going to the Crane School of Music, and I'll be going into my sophomore year, and I'm studying music for a musical education degree with a vocal emphasis. And my aspirations are both to teach and to someday perform on the professional stage. The costume for this is pretty tough because they have a hood over me, as you can see, and the hair and the hat. It gets really hot in here. And all this hay, you know, sometimes it falls out when I don't want it to, and sometimes when I need it to, it doesn't fall out like I would want it to.
An acting major to begin with, and this is like fun for me. Being in a college show and being in a civic theater show is a lot different. The budget is different and the people you're involved with are different. This is a really large-scale show. I mean, everything is just really big. I mean, the theater's big, the stage is big, all the actors are really good. This is I think, the best show I've ever been in.
I got involved with working in the Warner Theater because it is an incredible showcase. The Warner Theater, which has seating for about 1,700 seats, a little bit over that, here it is plopped in the middle of the Torrington. But we have this gem of a theater here. It's a beautiful Art Deco theater built back in the 1930s.
The Warner Theater opened in August 1931, exactly 59 years ago. Built by Warner Brothers Studios as a showcase for their films. When the Depression brought us down, and inexpensive entertainment, just 35 cents a show, brought us smiles. 46 years later, home video games took the place of a night out at the movies, and the Warner fell on hard times and closed. The theater lay neglected for 5 years. In 1982, a group of dedicated volunteers purchased the nearly destroyed theater and began making renovations. A variety of community groups call the Warner home. Nutmeg Ballet, area dance academies, even the Torrington High School uses the theater for its graduation.
The slogan for the Warner Theater is "Come to the Warner and live a dream." And this place has to be a factory of dreams. We can't compete with a lot of other forms of entertainment, but what we can do is give people in this area a dream.
Help. Dorothy, you're waking up.
Unusual weather we're having, ain't it?
Look, he's busted again.
August is an appropriate month for this show. Both the original Wizard of Oz and the Warner Theater debuted in this month.
I'm in the Wizard of Oz because I enjoy acting, and I think it's a great experience, and I have a lot of fun.
And I'm in the Wizard of Oz because I enjoy acting, but I've never done a theater production before, so this is new, and I enjoy it, and I've made a lot of new friends.
I love acting, and my sister and my mother also are in the Wizard of Oz with me, and we thought it would be fun to do a play together.
I was in a play this year in 6th grade, Anne of Green Gables, and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd come down here and do Wizard of Oz because I really liked the show, and I wanted to have some theater experience.
I'm in the Wizard of Oz because my brother tried out for it. I've had some theater experience. I was in Peter Pan. I was a lost boy in Peter Pan.
No self-respecting wizard would dare be caught without the special effects of smoke, fog, and lasers. The magic of Eric Thobin.
Well, with the Wizard, I had this feeling of an awesome look to it, and I wanted to have a totally different look than you usually with the other scenes in the whole play. And I wanted to get, it does look rock and rollish, and I wanted to I had these backlights to project out into the audience to show its punch, its kind of like its power. With this production, I feel it's not your average community theater show, and with the prices of going to see theater, like especially New York, I think I hope the public realizes that they can give community theater a chance and enjoy it.
The Wizard is a legend only in his own mind. You see, he's really sort of a wimpy charlatan, who is a good man at heart, though, of course, as he points out. There are a few parts in this where he tries to be scary, like when he has a booming voice and says, "I am Oz," or something like that. And of course that voice gets amplified, it can be a little scary. But everyone knows eventually, you know, that he's just a bogus character who ended up by the miracle of musical stage being in a balloon that landed in this noble city of Oz. Well, this is the greatest. As Rick Doyle says, this is the play that's the most seen production ever in the world. And it's the great combination of great values, family values, good human relationships, and fantasy, good and evil. It has all the ingredients that make things exciting. And it has a couple of other things, too. It has the young, then the middle-aged, and everybody in between in this show, which makes it a great, it gives a person great satisfaction to be in a show like this.
When I first got the part as Dorothy, I was very scared in that I would know that a lot of people would be out there expecting to see a Dorothy that Judy Garland created many years ago, and I was very nervous and uptight. But what I did is I studied the movie. Jim Fritsch, the director, had specifically told us all to watch the movie over and over and over again until we got the characters down. And she's wonderful. Dorothy is an incredible character. She's young, she's naive, she's vulnerable, but she's witty, she's charming, and Judy Garland did a wonderful job with her, and hopefully I'll be able to do just as good a job. I come from New Haven. It's an hour commute. I come up here because I worked here for a year at the Warner as an assistant to Jim Fritsch, the manager of the theater, and absolutely fell in love with it here. I had done a lot of other community shows here at the theater, and once you're up on stage, you totally fall in love with the place. And when I heard that they had auditions, they were having auditions for The Wizard of Oz, I jumped at the chance. Acting is something that I just do as a habit. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and music is something that has been in my family forever, and bless my mother, she gave it to me. And so I'm in theater and I'm having a fun time with it.
The stage isn't the only place these actors showcase their talents. Some, like Rick Doyle, have ventured into the world of cable TV. An Emmy Award-winning video director for Numb, Children of Alcoholics, which aired on Connecticut Public Television. Producing a weekly cable show, Taft Television. And acting in made-for-cable movies like Our Father. Jonathan Gurko, who plays the mayor of Munchkin City, is a familiar face to cable viewers as the former host of the well-known 5th grade game show, Brainstorm.
We ask random questions for this 7-minute round.
Beverly Jean Favor of Litchfield, who plays Auntie M, has recently been nominated for a Laurel Award for her performance in the made-for-cable thriller, The Rented House. Not everyone in the cast brings acting experience with them. Some, like Chris McKenna of Torrington, have 9-to-5 jobs.
Well, my primary, I'm a computer service technician by trade, and I work for Computers Plus, which is located right next to the Warner, and I work with a couple people that are involved with the Warner. When I started working there about 2 years ago, just by talking to the people that I work with, I kind of got involved in the theater, not as fully as I have been with this show, but I have helped out in various capacities. And when this show came up, Jim Fritsch, the director, asked me if I would be interested in being technical director, and I told him I would give it a shot, and so far it's worked out well. Anyone who comes to the show is going to be very impressed by, we put a lot of work into the sets, the way the sets operate, all the special effects, and it's just, when you're behind the scenes, you don't really realize, but when you step out in front of that set and you stand back and you watch these guys rotate those sets, you watch those people come in on time, and you watch those lights come up, it's an incredible feeling to just see everything executed.
People should come see this show because it's a classic of all time. This show, live on stage, we've recreated what they are so used to seeing in the movie, and nothing they can get in front of a TV compares to what happens live on a stage, the magic that it all is about. And that's what we're creating here at the theater. And this show especially, the color, the vibrance, the casts of thousands, and the hundreds of people that have worked 3 months to put this thing together is going to be well worth their time. People should really come see The Wizard of Oz, because from the moment they walk through the front door to when they leave at the end of the evening, they will be entertained fully from start to finish.
They are going to experience something that they can't experience anywhere else. Again, the Warner brings us something that is just going to totally be impossible to see anywhere else. It's a family show, it's fun, it's full of humor, it's full of music. The colors are incredible, the technical effects are fabulous, the cast is wonderful, the director was wonderful. Everything about it is so uniform and so together.
People should come to see The Wizard of Oz because it is a show, the only show I've ever been in, where you have 116 kids as Munchkins, 170 people in the cast, all working in sync, and the technical aspect of this is incredible. It's just an immense thing.
If there is one show that I am singularly most proud of, I think, in my theatrical career, the one that holds the most excitement and promise, it's this one. I'm generally excited about this show. I can't wait for Saturday to come to see the expressions and hear the people. There's a surprise around every corner. It's a visual extravaganza, and I genuinely say that, not just because I want you to come and see it. I am genuinely thrilled. I've been involved with a lot of shows. This one is a real kick on the head.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And here he is, the Wizard of Wiz, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Experience the fun, experience the fantasy, experience the dream. The Wizard of Oz comes alive on the stage of the Warner Theater. For Cable 5, I'm Jay Schultz.